Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cigar City Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Jack Austin. With me, as always, Mr. Nello. How you doing, buddy?
I've seen better days.
You want me to turn the music up?
Oh, I know what's coming.
What?
All right, fuck you in the
Mr. Clay,
shit.
how you doing?
I'm doing good.
No Ryan today. He's feeling under the weather. It is what it is. We miss you, buddy. Come back next week. Wow. Kind of not really a busy week in sports. Playoff football. Not a lot happened.
I'd like to forget the playoff football.
Not a lot of big games, but we'll go over that eventually.
Can
we'll
we just
talk
skip
about
that?
some pro football.
Do we have to? Do we really have to? I knew it. I was like hoping to God.
If you follow Cigar City Sports on Facebook, or you're in our Cigar City Sports podcast group, I just want to tell you that we went to the game this weekend. Clay, myself, Nello,
We're going right out of the bat. We're just
we all went to go watch the Birds take on the Bucs in Raymond James Stadium.
Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. It's just easier that way.
I figured get it out of the way early. You want it?
We want to go NFL right out of the bat.
Buccaneers, fire the cannons. Nello's going to have to sit on a plug-in dildo for 1 through 4 quarters. It's not going to be well. Fire the cannons.
We didn't get a fucking red zone
pull it out.
position. We had great seats thanks to one of my
Fantastic
fantastic
seats.
club seats.
Yes,
Thank you very
yes.
much for those seats. They were amazing. The only problem was I didn't see one offensive play that mattered on that side. Like legitimately, they never made the red zone on that end. Nothing.
Here's what he said when he sat down. He goes, I have never seen Philadelphia score on this side of the field, which is the side of the field that we were on. And he's like, I really hope I just see that today. And the one time he had a beautiful opportunity at a touchdown, Mike Edwards must have a personal vendetta against you because he slid right in and said, yoink, my ball, thank you.
That was on the other side of the field.
Who also had a fucking huge game. Mike Edwards balled out of his mind. 9 tackles, 1 pick, 1 tackle for a loss. That dude had a special game. He had some playoff football.
I am excited to see him repeat next week because we're going to need all of that juice.
We are going to need everybody at every position firing.
Do you know how terrible it was to be an Eagle fan, sit in that fucking chair and not be able to say fly Eagles fly, go Birds, none of that?
I was even
the guys
worried.
behind us were very nice.
I was worried too because we had
Probably
a row.
the nicest Philly fans I've ever seen.
They were way nicer than you are about it.
We had a whole row of Philly fans. No. They weren't nicer. They were realists.
Yeah.
They were the ones who go, we're here because the Birds are in town. And I was like, yeah, it's going to be a good game. They're like, we hope.
They were so real. They were like, yeah, we don't expect much, but we're here because our team's here. And I just looked like, what is going on?
I had one Philly fan be a typical Philly fan to walk up like, hey, man, good game. And then I went to give him a high five. Like, yeah, you know what? Respect, buddy. I'll give it to you. And then he fucking did that middle school shit where he moved his hand. He's like, whoa. I was like, oh, okay. That's how it's going to be?
41-33.
And
I was like, no, don't do this.
I was like,
I was like, don't do this. Don't do this right here, right in front of me. He just looked at me for support, and I just looked at his head. I'm like, I can't. I was like, I can't. Literally, we just got embarrassed. We didn't score any points in the first half. 0 opportunities to score. Like, what am I supposed to do? Talk shit to him? No.
It was
Fuck you and that
good.
pigeon shit. I had to hear that shit for 4 quarters.
Not to mention the Eagles fans' demeanor. They either got really quiet or super drunk.
Yeah. How about that
Super
fight?
drunk.
Did y'all see the video of the fight in the stadium?
No.
Some Eagles, I don't know what happened. I'm assuming it was belligerent.
They were
Bucs
doing
fans
they were doing
because
their
of how
same
it
shit they do
ended.
every year.
But this dude got worked.
Oh,
And
boy.
if he did start running his mouth first, he's an idiot because it was him in a sea of Bucs fans, and he got worked.
Well, you know the 50-50 guy, what he said outside, 10-1 and you're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a 50-50 guy who, while we were tailgating, pulled Nello away to tell him everything about his life. And I was very quick to be like, I want to be somewhere else, and just walked away.
Dude, he just walked away and left me there. I'm
in
like,
the middle of the guy talking.
I dipped as soon as the discussion passed, hello, how are you?
Yeah.
And then Jack joined me shortly after. Poor Nello's just taking
You were
it
just
did.
being a nice guy.
Hey, shoulder to cry.
He's
on.
like, how much did you spend for the tickets? And I was like, I don't know, dude. Somebody gave me these tickets. I
Yeah.
don't know how much. No, really, what, 200? I'm like, dude, I don't know.
we don't fucking know.
Well, you could have sold them for this. I'm like, why would I sell them?
Yeah.
Look at me.
Yeah.
I'm
We
look
wanna-
like the Green Goblin walking around here.
We want to be here.
Yeah. The best part of the game was the tailgating.
Here's the bad part, right? Aside from the guy sitting behind us, Nello was the classiest Eagles fan there.
There was nothing what was I supposed to do? First
Exactly.
drive, Keyshawn Vaughn just fucking shoved his shit up our ass so fast, it wouldn't even matter. Which, by the way, you know what? I
wait.
still want to know,
we go.
how much does it cost to wear a Bucs jersey under the fucking referee uniforms?
Oh, wow.
Complete bullshit.
What?
That 15-yard fucking call in the beginning, first quarter, you
Sure.
hit Brady once, it's a flag.
Oh, but you didn't see where your boy pushed Brady long after the play and they didn't throw a flag?
Nello, I'm
It
going
was
to tell
too
you.
late, too late. It's too little, too late.
Let's pause it. I know emotions are high. You punch my microphone again, I'm going to judo chop you in the throat.
I didn't punch it. I pushed it away
you're,
from my
You're going
face.
to talk with a lisp for the rest of your life.
Open-handed slapped it.
No, but it was one of those calls, man, and for sure it was a Brady call.
Of
because
course.
he took a hit to the helmet that was really not shit, and then they got to 15 yards. But okay, so I'll give you that. You get to 15 yards. What about the rest of your team? What happened?
And then let me just talk about this for fucking seconds, since we're going to talk about this game and analyze it. You need to fucking throw the ball down the field, not fucking sideways. If you keep throwing a wide receiver screen and it didn't work the first 20 times, it's not going to work the next 20 times.
That's true.
Yeah, they were going east to west a lot.
It was
And tell
really-
me why Jalen Reagor still has a job.
It was really weird because they were trying to beat us outside, and it was apparent through the second half of quarter number two, or through the half of quarter number two, that it was like, okay, that's not working. Every time you guys have gone there, 45 or 54 has been there.
Anybody's been there. They were loading up the box and keeping people close to the line of scrimmage because they knew we weren't going to throw the ball past 10 yards.
Absolutely.
They knew it.
And so, you would think that something was going to change, but Jalen Hurts had actually, for what he was given, had a decent game.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
Shut up. How many
Who's he
times are you going to throw the same ball in a double coverage to Goddard between the safety and the corner?
So who's he throwing it to?
I don't give a shit. How about you don't throw it to the same spot 3 times in a row?
I'm going to side a little more with Jack on that one because they had Devontae Smith covered up very
Are
nicely.
you kidding me? He was wide open on that interception. He couldn't hit him.
I'm not saying every
I
play they
we
did.
can't talk about this game. I'm going to start getting heated. It's just, I'm reliving moments of like torture.
Well, so you guys didn't decide to throw to Devontae until the game was fucking over.
Look at the third quarter where he was literally like, hey, I'm open. And then he underthrew him and threw it to the wrong team.
Here's the thing, too, though, is like Devontae has come out so many times. He's very vocal about, hey, if you want the ball, you want the game on the line, throw me the ball.
Yeah.
Get me involved. I want that. That's what you
No, we
picked me
kept throwing
for.
to Jalen Reagor.
Yeah.
And what did Jalen Reagor do? Drop the fucking punt.
Well, you also-
the one thing that he got drafted to do, they said he was the most... He's the best punt returner we've ever seen. The next Darren Sproles. I got news for you. Darren Sproles catches the ball. Guess who doesn't? Jalen Reagor.
Well,
You just need softer hands.
it was also some wicked wind out there, buddy.
Shut
The
up.
fucking wind was blowing wicked high.
Yeah, I was like, all right, this is good. Philly weather. This weather's been nasty. Let's go. And then by 1 o'clock, I just look up and Jack's like, hey, buddy, how's that weather going? He just gave me a nudge, and the sun came out and shined like a light, like you know how in the
Just right
shows,
on you.
Whee! They're like, wow, the universe is just taking a dump on me. That
so
day.
funny too, because every time they'd start doing the chant like the Tampa Bay, I just go, no, that's where you say Bay. Yeah, scream Bay. Right then, that's when you go Bay.
Like
And he
the
was
third-
like, he just kept going, shut the fuck up, dude. I'm not having a good time right now. I'm like,
No.
that's where you say Bay, Nello.
But for the record, after that first drive, I just turned to you and I was like, it's going to be a long day, Jack.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. As soon as we marched and scored that touchdown, Nello goes, oh, fuck.
That big third down conversion.
You mean the penalty?
On that first drive.
Oh, you
No,
mean
no,
that
no.
penalty? Oh, that penalty. Okay.
I'm talking about the third down conversion. I think Gronk caught the ball.
Yeah. Gronk,
Smashed
by the
through,
way, had a great
bulldozed
game.
through a couple of guys, got that first down. It's third and pretty long.
I want to
believe.
say it is an honor and a privilege to watch Tom Brady live and in person do his thing in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Granted, we weren't the greatest, We don't have the team that could have played them to the potential that we should have. But Tom Brady just makes it look so freaking easy.
He does.
Dude, that touchdown where they play action and he just like Gronk was literally wide open with a newspaper and a glass of tea.
Oh, at the goal line. Yeah. That was rough.
Dude, I'm just like, oh, here we go. Oh, and the whole defense collapsed on a running back and he just went boop.
Yep.
I was like, wow.
Another guy who had a big day was 13, Mike Evans. I mean, scoring a touchdown. That guy, and that was the one thing that you said is like Darius Slay is going to be trying to stay on Mike Evans, and God bless him, he did.
He did the best he could.
Mike is just a freak.
96 yards. He didn't get 100.
He didn't get that extra 4 yards.
Let me tell you, the Eagles' run offense, 96 yards all game. You guys stuffed Miles Sanders. I'm not sure why we didn't use Jordan Howard. I don't know why we had to keep running outside.
Yeah.
The only success was that run, the option with Jalen Hurts. And even then, when you're in 3rd and 6 and 3rd and 5, you don't run an option.
No.
You just don't.
If I had to guess,
especially with Vita Vea sitting right in the middle,
so
which is the only thing I could
was
say.
about to say.
Yeah.
I think that's why they ran it outside.
And that Shaq Barrett interception, like he went to go get that, but what a bad throw by Hurts, man.
Yeah.
I know he was trying to touch pass it over him and get him, but that's just bad.
All I'm saying
if you're touch passing in the NFL, the play better A, be a guarantee, and B, your guy better be by himself, because loft throws like that, they work in college, but at the pro level, everybody, as evidenced by Shaq Barrett, everybody can make a play on that ball.
He hopped though. He got off the ground to get that ball.
Yeah.
But you still don't make a throw like that.
No.
Hurts looked bad. He was overthrowing. He was underthrowing. He kept throwing into double coverage. Devontae, when they started opening it up when the game was over, Devontae started moving around, and you could see that. The only thing I want to say is, if you draft Devontae Smith in the first fucking round,
use him.
You gotta fucking use him.
Yeah.
Look at that 2-point conversion. He was in between two players, and he still caught the ball.
Look at guys like Jamar Chase that we were talking about earlier. Jamar Chase, Najee Harris. You draft those guys first overall to be skilled players.
Yeah.
When the shit is going down, they're the people you have to be looking at.
Even if
to
you
be
don't
special.
the season for whatever reason, the playoffs, that's why you pick them that high.
I mean, we were all drinking and having a good time, and then this son of a bitch in the third quarter. Listen to this, because this is something that's ringing in my head. You know what, Nello? Right here, if you don't get this 2-point conversion, I think the game is over. And I'm like, Clay, the game was over after the first quarter. No, listen to me.
Hey, terrible accent. But
listen to me. The game is still on the line, but you need to score.
At least I still had hope for y'all.
And then you guys got the 2-point conversion, and Clay looks at me and goes, "It's fucking over anyway. Let's get out of here."
No, and he turns around to the Eagles fans like, "I love you guys, and I understand that you're doing good, but Tua's just not that guy." I mean, not Tua. Jalen's just not that guy.
Do you not agree with me on that yet? He's not that
and
guy.
And the Eagles guy
really
behind him was like, is this guy fucking serious right now?
The situation did seem big for Jalen, but I got to say this. Here's one thing I got to say.
Jalen Reagor doesn't help anybody.
Well, fuck, you didn't even point out who Jalen Reagor was on the field. I didn't even give a shit about him. But Tampa Bay Raymond James Stadium, the fans showed the fuck up.
Yeah.
The fans were there. That is the loudest and most energetic I have ever seen that stadium.
Especially Clay leaving the stadium. Tampa Bay! All day.
And then
the
Eagles
fuck
fans,
the Eagles.
Yeah.
Oh, and what was that? By the way, we didn't mention this. Our buddy Clay here got recorded on his segment.
TV. He got on TV with Let's Fucking Go TV.
And he was wearing a Cigar.
He's wearing a cigar. That was the funniest part of the whole day. He's sitting there on camera, and my man Clay's had a few Chardonnays, what of it, but he is hype. The hype train has left the fucking station.
We beat the Eagles single-handedly. It was not even a contest.
Well, anyway, we're walking out, and this little cute girl's wearing a LFG hat and got the camera. She goes, come here. Clay takes the bait right there. He starts talking to her, and I'm like, this is great. He's got the shirt on. He'll talk about the podcast. And I'm like, trying to motion to you like a fucking crazy person. I'm like, move your jacket, show her your fucking shirt. And you're just like, man, I gotta tell you, Shaq Barrett showed up, Desmond White, and you're going after it. And I'm like, God, do that. People are looking at me like, what's wrong with this fucking guy? And then eventually, no. in full Eagles garb walks over, rips your jacket open, and points to the logo. He does that, and then you go, oh, yeah, and I got this podcast, Cigar City Sports, baby. And then we were all was right with the world. We all celebrated.
They still haven't messaged me.
For their tens and tens of viewers on Let's Fucking Go TV.
Oh my God, it was just so funny. Your fucking sweater, open it. And he just kept going into oblivion.
Just kept breaking down the game. He went into pure after the game. I just want to thank God. I'm just one man. I was in there section 230 slamming Miller Lights and just having a great time. And I want to say I want to thank Bruce Arians for putting me in the game.
I went pigeon hunting today. We killed all the pigeons.
What is going on?
I should have just stared at her and go, right in the mic. Just really creep her out.
And then
it was wild. It was a good
chant.
time.
The Eagles suck chant started. Clay made sure he got a couple of those in. Then he looks at me in the car and he's like, "It's a rough day. I understand. I just want you to know, go Bucs and fuck the Eagles." Like literally, just looked me in the face and said this. And I'm just like, is it over?
I'll tell you one more thing.
Halfway to Jack's house, I was just like, it's got to end. I'm like, Clay, you need to sit the fuck down because I can't take this anymore. I will open this car and just jump.
11:59 p.m. is when it ends.
He was about to tuck and roll that day.
Chinese fire drill.
Yeah, we were hitting on the interstate. Nella was really like, how bad is road rash?
I mean, come on.
He's on WebMD like, how bad does road rash get?
He's Googling the angles.
Yeah, he's Googling geometry of how he needs to land, and he's trying to look up burn cream on the internet. How close is a CVS? Because I'm getting the fuck out of here.
It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. We had fun. We had a good time.
We had a good time.
The seats we were supposed to be at.
Yeah.
So there was a bunch of Philly fans there, and that was been like what Philly fans are really about. My cousin who came down from PA to see it with his wife.
Yeah.
He got those seats, and he said that was like Philadelphia. That was like a little part of Philadelphia. Those fans were like real.
I'm really
I can't
glad.
tell you what he told me because I don't think it's appropriate for the microphone. Just so that they brought Philly with them.
Oh, so had we been there, it would have been a guaranteed fight.
Yeah, y'all would have gotten in a fight.
I would have been way more toned down.
Yeah.
You goddamn right you would have because those boys would have killed you.
Down.
Not I. I'd have still turned it up.
Oh, I mean, if it would have gone down, I'd have given it my all. But I'd have gone out, been swinging, but I'd have been more toned down.
But you know how bad it is when Nello is the calmest.
But I
Philly
think
fan,
I know
man.
why we lost. So my cousin Angelo is a Cowboys fan.
Sure.
And you met him before the game. Every Eagles game he's gone to, the Eagles have lost. So he came basically to tell me to go fuck myself and to rub it
Wearing
in.
a Tom Brady shirt.
We're in a Tom Brady
shirt.
Yeah, just purposefully
TB12.
cursing y'all.
The kid from Philly, and his beautiful wife is sitting there in all Philly garb.
Yeah.
And
Decked
she's just
out.
like, I'm ready for a good game. And he's like, yeah, I know what's going to happen here. I don't want to.
He was.
I'm wearing
Bro, he was
wearing my
point
Tom
blank
Brady
like,
shirt.
Eagles suck and so do you. And I was just like, hello, family.
Yeah,
What happened?
it was weird.
Well, karma got him back quick.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Got him
That's
back
all the
real
shit I
quick.
talk about their Napoli team.
So, yeah, that was interesting.
So
And the
Angelo,
Bucs-
Gabby, tell Angelo he's never allowed to run another fucking Eagles game again.
So in hindsight, it's been for everybody at the table. It's been a rough year.
yeah,
We've all
it's been a rough year for everybody.
our teams have in some sport or another has come to an end abruptly and disappointedly.
Yep.
So we can all wallow in misery together.
Yeah, us sitting here at
I also want to say one thing. So I was just looking at the Braves won so Atlanta's won the national championship and the World Series, and Tampa's won the Super Bowl and the Stanley Cup. Which two trophies would you rather have?
yeah.
Like, what's bigger?
The
What's
Stanley Cup
bigger?
or what?
So World Series and the national championship, Stanley Cup, Super Bowl.
I'll take Stanley Cup, Super Bowl. Yeah, I'll take Stanley Cup. That's the harder trophy to get, in my opinion.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
The World Series is the
Statistically,
hardest trophy to get
No
in
way,
sports.
dude. No way.
That. Oh man! Right now, this is not an answer that I would never have the same answer like 5 years from now.
Well, no,
5
'cause it
years after
changes.
that. Yeah, but I would say if we had the World Series and the Stanley Cup in the same year, that's pretty damn impressive.
I mean, winning this World Series is pretty
But
rough.
at the same time, look,
It is rough, but think about it like this. You are rotating pitchers and everybody else is standing out in the field or batting. So you're not having that same stress as it is with hockey, which every night every line is out there banging
But
and
you're
shooting.
going 162 games in baseball. That's a lot.
But one of them is a lot less impactful on your body. I mean, hockey, playing all those games is much worse than baseball.
Yeah, hockey's moving, and you all got to be moving.
And it's not like you can go out there on light contact. Like those baseball players, if they have their mobility, they're fine. They're not worried about getting hit.
Yeah, I got to say that probably hockey is the toughest to win the championship for sure for that reason. I mean, you're going hard. Hopefully not 7 games in your championship series prior to.
Yeah.
That's the other thing is if you go to game 7 in the series prior, think about how worn out they are.
Yeah.
Especially if the team they're playing against didn't have to go 7. I think that's tough, but the answers for me on that would change a lot.
Sorry.
But you brought up a good point though. You've got Atlanta, so you had the Braves had the World Series, Georgia
Won
got
the national title.
got the national championship
for football.
So it would be pretty interesting it'd be interesting regardless if the Bolts took the Stanley Cup a 3rd time in a row.
That
by itself is huge. But what if?
Yeah, that would be a historic thing.
But also talking about how hard it is. Look at this. You have got a Bucs team that this is really their last year to have a really good shot at the Super Bowl, right? And they've got this daunting Rams team that's in the same position, right? This year and next year, and then they're back to rebuilding. I
think Stafford is going to have more years in the league left than Brady will. I don't know, man. I think if Brady doesn't win, there is an offshoot chance that he comes back anyway.
I think he's coming back next year regardless. It's just all the other guys we're going to lose. I don't know. It's going to be an uphill battle for him.
Well, you're right. And missing Godwin for a whole year will take a lot of doing to replace him.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what happens, but it's going to be tough either way. But we're going to see guys step up, and we're going to see things moving on. But, yeah, that was, as far as the Bucs game goes, awesome experience. It was great to be there.
Yeah, it was so great.
It was great to see Tom come out there and win.
Tell me about it, right?
Because I was winless seeing Tom before that. I'd gone to see him 2 times.
Are you fucking kidding me?
2 times.
I need to leave.
2 times the year before. I went to see him
ridiculous.
play the Saints and the Rams. Both on primetime games.
Why the hell did you have to win this week?
They beat the shit out of us. I'll tell you exactly why. Because I was wearing the home Vincent Jackson jersey.
Why the hell you didn't wear that?
I didn't. I wore the Tom Brady.
You should. If I would have known this,
we discussed
you would be wearing Vincent
in
Jackson
detail before you got here.
Yeah, we discussed it big time.
Why didn't you tell him to wear Vincent Jackson?
I told him not to. I said definitely don't.
Well, we were all discussing because I've got a whole closet's worth of Bucs gear, and
There was
like,
an arsenal of
with?
shit all over the place, Bucs stuff all over the place.
Yeah, I've even got a personalized one with my name on it, and I wore the Brady. Just because you have to pay homage to the GOAT, man. The sacrifice.
All right, enough with this GOAT bullshit.
We sacrifice. You're the one who just said it was an honor to see him do his thing, didn't you?
I didn't say honor. It was just great to see him play. And it might have
Should
said
I
honor.
fucking play it back?
Okay, fine. It was good to see a great quarterback play, but GOAT, he is the GOAT.
He
really is.
For
He
sure.
really is.
For sure. All right. Well,
will we ever see another talent at quarterback in the NFL in our lifetimes?
I want you to see it like this. They were showing the touchdown numbers, and Peyton Manning, we all kind of look at as like the unofficial like GOAT before Tom Brady was official, before he started winning championships and doing shit like that. Tom Brady's 100 touchdowns over the next guy. I mean, do I think we see something like that in our lifetime? Do we have the lifetime to do that? I mean, I'm just saying, to see a kid coming up like that, first of all, nobody saw Tom Brady coming out of Michigan. Nobody saw that.
No.
So for somebody to come out like that and just start firing on all cylinders, it's going to take somebody having a high level of success and a high level of preparation deep into their career. And I personally think the guy that people are looking at to do that right now, and everybody's thinking it, is Patrick Mahomes. Everybody thinks, oh, Mahomes will do it. Mahomes will do it. I don't know if Mahomes has the team around him right now to continue to do that, because people forget Brady had some legendary defenses on the other side of him.
Oh, yeah.
He had some break-your-neck defenses in the Patriots day with Donta Hightower and Richard Seymour, Ty Law, Rodney Harrison. Do
you know what
Teddy Bruschi?
Rodney Harrison was a monster.
Mike Vrabel. I mean, they had some great players. Asante Samuel.
Aside from Randy Moss, which is the highest profile receiver that Brady had before Evans.
Before Ocho Cinco, too.
If you just think of the players that he's been able to do it with.
Yeah.
Kevin Falk, Troy Brown. Is his name Troy Brown?
Yeah, Troy Brown, the receiver.
Right.
Deion Branch.
Besides Gronk.
Wes Welker, Julian Edelman.
These are all guys, Danny Amendola. These are all guys that were smaller. They were undersized for the position. They were just no-name guys. They just played ball. That's why I think he is the greatest. Because he was literally the quarterback who made the talent, whatever talent he had around him, better.
I mean, you name any elite quarterback right now, you have to pair an elite wide receiver with him. I mean, let's think about it like that.
But did Grady have, besides Gronk, I guess, but even then, Gronk.
I mean, Randy Moss. Randy Moss.
I mean,
did Moss never won a Super Bowl?
No, he lost the undefeated year.
Right.
But take a look at it. Like
most of the receivers
outside of that
won.
game, they went undefeated that season.
But Steve Young, Joe
Montana. They should have lost to the Giants earlier that year.
Steve Young and Joe Montana, they had Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
Michael Irvin was with Troy Aikman, not naming him a great of all time. That's ridiculous. But like good quarterbacks that are notable that you bring up. I mean, Brett Favre. He had Donald Driver. He had Sterling Sharp. He had a lot of good receivers with him. Aaron Rodgers has Devontae Adams. I mean, name one. Look at Peyton Manning. He had Marvin Harrison, Dallas Clark, and Reggie Wayne, and Edgerrin James for most of his career.
I was just going to say.
You look at those four names and you go, wait, fucking what? Those guys are on the same team?
And then he went to Denver and he had Demaryius Thomas.
Yeah.
And Sanders, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Emmanuel Sanders,
yeah.
I mean,
he had Emmanuel Sanders during Emmanuel Sanders' prime.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, like Eli Manning, he didn't have a ton of
plaques.
I mean, he had Plaxico Burress until he shot himself.
He had Shockey.
Yeah, Jeremy Shockey's another good one too.
Was stout, yeah.
But I don't know, man. It's hard not to think of big, stout
and he had Tiki Barber
receivers. John Elway, who'd he have?
Terrell Davis.
Yeah,
he had
Terrell
Sharp,
Davis.
didn't he?
He had Rod Smith.
He had Sharp, didn't he? He had McCaffrey.
Yeah. I mean, you name everybody out there, but here's
I get Mahomes is great.
Yeah.
Take Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce away. You know what? Let him keep Tyreek. Take Kelce away.
Yeah.
From that team. Are they as good?
They are not as good without Kelce, for sure. But here's the thing. You take Kelce away from Mahomes is not going to be as successful. You take Mahomes away from Kelce will still be a baller.
Give him a game management, he'll still do it. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All he has to do is know when to say, "Hey, throw me the ball right now."
Speaking of Kelce, how about Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce's mom?
Yeah,
going to both games. She rode a rickshaw to get to the airport to get to her boys' game.
Yeah, that was huge. I loved that. Good to see her going out there and supporting her boys. But yeah, Mahomes is to go back to do I think he's ever going to catch Brady? I don't. I don't think his body will be able to play the way he likes to play for that long.
Yeah, you got to remember that Brady has all the talent. You know, he's got it. He's level-headed. He doesn't mess up too often. Nobody's perfect, but I watched this man in the arena.
You've been saying that week after week.
Everybody needs to watch it because when you listen to him talk, you're like, wait a minute, this guy is working on this workout routine on Tuesday.
Yeah,
because he knows it's going to make him stay healthier and less injury prone, for the rest of his career. I don't see, even if Mahomes wasn't such a run and gun kind of play style, I still don't think you're going to see. I don't know if you see any player that does it like Brady does for the longevity wise. That's why I don't think anybody will catch him. I mean, I saw that picture where he was tied with Troy Aikman for touchdowns.
past
Troy
40.
Aikman's career.
Yeah.
And it was just his since he was 40.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
That was
man.
188 touchdowns
yeah.
that Aikman had scored in his entirety of his career, and he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And then you have Brady, who's gotten 188 since he turned 40.
In 4 years. And, yeah.
I mean, those are some of those records that aren't going to be broken, like Barry Sanders' college record. He went over 2,000 yards or something, something silly in college, and nobody's ever going to touch that.
Yeah. And even, people are talking about, like, even Cooper Kupp said he doesn't think it's fair he's going to break this receiving record with an extra week of a season. You could add 2 more weeks. And I just don't see a player staying healthy and at that level of not just like not missing games. I'm talking about playing at their best physical.
Yeah, but when they
peak.
went to 16 games, the records were still being broken, and nobody said
and
shit.
nobody
Right.
said
We just
anything.
gotta
About it.
get
Right.
over
I'm
it.
saying you
Yeah.
could add 2 or 3 more, and I just don't see a player staying healthy enough and at the peak performance like he has, and that's why he'll remain the best. Now, we may have
Right.
somebody that does a whole lot more in a shorter time comparatively.
And that's great, but the championships, that's so like when we talk about LeBron and Jordan, everybody likes to bring up the championships. And therein lies the difference. You can have a lot of records, score a lot of touchdowns. I don't know who's going to get as many rings as Tom has.
Yeah.
I think
nobody.
Tom wants the whole 2 hands. He wants it all.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he gets that, though. I don't think his body will give him that. I think that, even now, he's not liking that contact.
I guarantee
And
you
this-
he'd love to hear you
The Eagles
say
got
that.
to 4.
Here's the thing.
They
I
got to him
think
4
the
times. And I
difference-
don't think he likes contact at
The
all.
difference between that is I don't think it's that he doesn't like contact. I think he knows how detrimental contact can be to him. So his mentality is, I'd rather have another drive and dive down and take the sack than stand up in here and try to make a conversion and ruin my career. Well, not ruin, but end the season and end the career possibly. So I think he's doing, i.e. what Torrey Holt and Isaac Bruce used to do back with the Rams, greatest show on turf. Every time they caught the ball, when a big hit was coming, both of those men would dive down on the ground, preserve those yards, and move on with their day. And they did that for the longevity of their careers, and it worked. I mean, they were great with Kurt Warner for so many years. And every time a big safety's coming over the middle, they would catch that ball and bail. And that's the smart thing to do. And I think that's why Brady's doing it now, is because he knows he's 40, 44. He's not going to be able to take a hit from an NFL lineman on any team at any spot in the depth chart and be okay if he's getting hit consistently.
Of course. But that was another problem with the Eagles, is they couldn't get any fucking pressure, even without Tristan Wirfs and Ryan Jensen.
Which, by the way, Tristan Wirfs' right sprained ankle will be a game-time decision versus the Rams. And
That's
boy,
nerve-wracking.
oh
We
boy,
need him.
do we need him. I think there was a more serious injury for Jensen, and he's just too freaking stubborn.
They
Bro, did you see him? We were there. He was just fighting off trainers. He's like, what do you mean get off the field with a stretcher? Get the fuck away from
the
me.
sacks that
And crying.
that
And
the
crying.
Eagles did get on Brady came after Tristan went down. Well, one was when he came back in for one
was
play.
the same drive,
Yeah, so Wirfs comes back in for one play
2 of them were in
and
garbage.
just gets blown up, and that was like, yep, can't do it. Gotta
And as
get
soon
off
as
the
they
field.
did, he stayed on his stomach on the field, and I was like, okay, we're done with Tristan.
Yeah,
here.
and that was one of the sacks, but we definitely got to need him out there against that Rams defense.
And we'll see. I bet you he takes no contact all week.
oh, for sure.
I guarantee it.
They are doing everything.
He'll take plenty of walkthroughs, but come Sunday, he will be wrapped up like a mummy on that ankle,
yeah.
and B, he will take his first contact against
I just
a
don't think-
stout,
I don't know.
scary
My
Rams
God.
team.
So before we go off, we were talking about QBs. Before we go on break, I'm assuming that's coming
Yeah.
soon. Before we do that shit, we were talking about QBs that were like made it to big games and didn't have a great wide receiver crew.
Sure.
Steve McNair and the Titans, when they went to that Super Bowl,
Yeah.
besides Eddie George, what did they have?
Derek Mason.
Would you consider him a stud receiver?
For that team when he was there, yeah,
And
he was a very consistent wideout.
And then how terrible would it feel to lose the Super Bowl by an inch?
I remember that. Everyone remembers that watches football.
That was one of the craziest games ever. Although the greatest Super Bowl, still Pittsburgh beating the Cardinals with the toe tap from Santonio Holmes.
Bro, that was an amazing catch.
That was the most amazing Super Bowl I believe I've ever seen, not won by a Buccaneer team. But yeah, let's take a quick break.
What do you mean? The most amazing Super Bowl not won by a Buccaneer team is when we beat Tom Brady in Minnesota.
Well,
okay, enough with the fucking bird.
All I got to say
Jesus Christ.
Hey,
I will call Dick Cheney. We will go pigeon hunting in this room right now. He knows how to shoot somebody in the face.
He's going to have a heart attack before he gets here.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, while we were off, we were talking about UFC 270. Gane versus Ngannou. The interim champion versus the guy who I think honestly got a bum rap. Ngannou. He shouldn't have been stripped.
Guy gets injured and
shouldn't have
Dana White decides to make an interim fight.
Same thing happened with Stipe. He held on to his belt for a fucking year and it didn't get stripped from him. So that's bullshit that happened to Ngannou. I still see Ngannou as the reigning champ for sure.
Yeah, but there's some politics behind that bullshit with Ngannou.
Yeah, big time.
Well, he came out today last week and said he's not fighting for $500,000 anymore.
He shouldn't have to.
And all these guys should be getting paid better, if you ask me. Because if Jake Paul can make $40 million fighting bums, why the hell aren't these guys making more money? I'm not saying $40 million, but
to quote, what's Rogan's buddy? God damn, I can't think of his
Which
name.
one?
The one who's on all the fight podcasts with him.
Oh,
Brandon
Schaub.
Brandon Schaub. He said there's only one guy in the UFC that makes fuck you money, and that's Conor McGregor.
But that's because of
Conor
all the
McGregor's the
endorsements.
guy. It's not because of the endorsements, because it's how many pay-per-view draws Conor McGregor brings. And Ngannou's not there yet. And he said, if you want things to be good for UFC fighters and you want them to start making more money, you're probably cheering for Francis Ngannou.
150,000%.
Because if he comes back and he wins, that's huge for the fighters because that shows he's the draw, he's the big guy, he's the one who's going to bring everybody in. I don't think that's going to happen. I would love to see.
Free agent after this fight. This is his last fight in the UFC contract.
Somebody will pay him silly money.
They should.
Somebody will.
He's the draw. He's that big boy heavyweight. He got that power. He's got a little bit more skill than Derek Lewis. He's a little faster. He is. Derek Lewis is a one-trick pony.
Isn't saying much. Derek is tough, and Derek could knock out a grown bull. But then again, so could Ngannou, and he's a little bit better.
See, and I only say Derek Lewis because I have the last fight that Cigar Gane fought was against Lewis in Houston, was that interim fight, if I'm not mistaken, for the title.
No, that was Gane, not Ngannou.
Right, Gane.
Yeah, sorry.
They fought for the title?
Yes.
Interim title? And so if you want to match it up, it's fighter to fight. It's a striker to striker type matchup. But I don't think that Derek Lewis
Are you about to say that Ngannou's a grappler?
No.
Go in there?
No. That's what I'm saying. Striker to striker. And they consider both these guys strikers, right?
Yeah.
Cigar Gane is a tactical striker. He's hitting you at points that he needs to hit you. He's not going for power. And Gane is going to take Cigar Gane's head off in the third round.
Oh.
It's going to be a third round knockout because Gane is going to try to sit there and take it, but he's going to get knocked the fuck out.
Why would Gane sit there and take it when he didn't take it from Derek Lewis?
Because he's not going to be able to go backwards. Because Derek Lewis didn't press the issue. Ngannou will.
Have we seen Ngannou's chin get tested?
I mean, he did go with Derek Lewis.
Have we seen him get his chin get tested, though? Because Derek Lewis beat him by getting his chin checked, if I'm not mistaken.
But they went to 5, didn't they?
No.
They went all the way to 5, and then Lewis won the decision.
Well, but the knockdown happened for Lewis.
Yeah.
So I feel, and correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm going to look this up, though, while you're
that
talking.
Cigar Gane is the better striker of him and Derek Lewis, right? I mean, let's say this. Francis Ngannou is the strongest puncher in the UFC right now. Pound for pound, he has the biggest knockout power of anybody there. But he's not as educated in terms of martial arts.
There were no
fighting
knockdowns in that fight.
None. Okay. But where did the losses come from?
If we take a look at it, what did they say? 40 shots to 22 shots. Ngannou only landed 22 significant strikes.
Okay.
Over to 20. So, yeah.
So I'm going to go to the fight history. Yeah, he lost to Stipe, and Stipe went 5 rounds, and he lost to Derek Lewis back-to-back. Everything else has been a knockout in round 1, except for Stipe for the championship. That was a knockout in round 2. But typically,
Cyril Gahn's undefeated.
yeah, he's 10-0.
Wow.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know it was 10-0. But I mean, that's just a UFC, right?
Yeah, he was also a world heavyweight champion kickboxer twice. So this is not Cyril's first fight. He's not going to walk in like, oh, what do I do here? Le punch, le kick. He's French, by the way.
Your name is Francis?
Your name is Francais? Oh. I will kick you now. No, it ain't going to be like that, man. He knows what he's doing. He knows the power. I'm sure he's felt power like Francis before and knows how to move around the ring. He showed that with Derek Lewis. So if he can keep that movement up and get Francis Ngannou chasing him around the octagon, might be a long fight.
Nah, I just don't see him being able to take that punishment from Ngannou.
I don't see that. So there's the difference. I don't think he could take the punishment from Ngannou. I don't know who could take the punishment from Ngannou.
No, that's.
I don't
true.
think he's going to take punishment. I don't think he's going to put himself in a position to take punishment.
Well, that's then you're just saying Cyril Gahn plays a distance game, kick to the lower body, and does what he did against Derek Lewis and chopped the tree down.
Yeah. I think he walks away with a title, and you're bored out of your mind.
That's the only way he wins, though, right?
Yeah, right. He's not going to stand in there and bang with Francis Ngannou.
Do you think Cyril Gahn has a chance to knock him out?
They both have a chance to knock each other out.
You think Cyril Gahn's got that much power?
100%.
Really?
He
Power.
is a 2-time heavyweight kickboxing
I have a feeling
champion.
if he gets a kick to Nganou's head, that's it.
It could happen.
Night-night, and that could very much happen.
Listen, we've had the champ on this show before, Nick, right?
I am curious to see what
I
he would
have
think about
been
this.
in the ring with the champ. Do I feel like I've ever taken a round from him? No. But I know he's got crazy power. So for that entire round, my ass is moving and taking a jab when I can and keeping on moving, because the only way I'm going to beat that guy is by pointing him and beating him in the sport. Because if I stand in there with Nick, 10 times out of 10, I'm getting knocked out. My man's just got too much power. So I have to play the game. And Cyril's going to do that too. Obviously at a much higher level, but I'm just saying.
So let's hit up this fight record for Cyril Gahn, shall
Let's
we?
take a look.
His kickboxing record, he has 13 total fights, 13 wins, 9 by knockout.
So he's got the power.
The MMA, he's got 10 total fights, 4 knockout wins, 3 submissions, 3 decisions. Yeah.
Wait a minute. 4. Okay, yeah, I got it.
3 is 6, plus 4 is 10.
I got you.
Okay, and I just wanted to make sure you got me there.
Thanks.
So let's take a look at Ngannou's records, or just to see how the breakdown works for him.
Look up his salt mining career.
Yo, that makes hard-ass men.
That dude is a hard-ass motherfucker.
Like, and that's why I just think, like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, I just don't see how Gahn can go backwards.
So here's
Gahn
the thing.
has to fight the Adesanya's type fight that everybody's going to hate. And you know that dude, he'll be champion, everybody will boo him, and that'll be bad for his pockets.
Here's the thing that you do, Nello.
By the way, Ngannou's martial art record, before we get off that, 19 total fights, 16 wins, 12 knockouts, 4 submissions, 3 losses by decision.
There you go. So here's the thing that you do, right? You see a thing that you want that looks sexy, that would make the movie, and you just dive into it. You want it. And you do that to the point where it blinds the realism of the situation to you. You do this with the Eagles and the Bucs. You do this with fights all the time.
I think he realized it. He just doesn't show it.
And when things that are going wrong happen, you have to find a reason why it's rigged or it's fake or it's.
I didn't say that this time, though. The Eagles got manhandled. Besides that bad call in the first half, I mean, in the first quarter with that PI, that was terrible.
Questionable calls happen all the time. But what I'm saying is, you are just ignoring. You don't know Cyril Gahn. You haven't watched many of his fights, so you're like, You're not looking at the body of work and the fact that the guy is interim champion for a reason. He didn't just beat Derek Lewis. He fucking embarrassed him.
I'm just looking at who. Oh, yeah, let's look at who Ngannou's fight. Stipe, Jairzinho Rozenstruik,
Sure.
Junior Dos Santos, Cain Velasquez. He did lose to Miocic and Lewis. He knocked out Overeem. He knocked out Andre
Alistair
Arlovski.
Overeem. That was the nastiest knockout I think I've ever seen out of
He
Ngannou.
knocked out Curtis Blades. I mean, these are big names that he's knocking out. Curtis Blades is a big son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Overeem is a big son of a bitch.
Yeah, they are.
And he knocked out Curtis Blades 3 times.
What do those guys all have in common?
Cain Velasquez, big motherfucker. Junior Dos Santos, big motherfucker.
What do they all have in common?
They're big, slow sons of bitches.
And they didn't respect the power.
No, because they're stand-up guys, so they're going to trade with you.
Exactly. And that is the difference. I think it's not a foregone conclusion by any means for Cyril to win. No way. He's going to have the fight of his life to win. But Francis has a lot more holes in his game than Cyril does.
Let me take a look at this Cyril Gane thing before we moved on, because he's beat Volkov.
Then I want to go to the card itself. And I just also got a notification Steven Stamkos made it to the All-Star team.
Oh, yeah?
Let's go.
Yep.
The captain.
Do you know he almost didn't get on that team? That's crazy, right?
Yeah. This is the first time in a while we've had Stamkos healthy for this long, too.
And he's been carrying you guys with all those damn injuries.
Except for the fact that Nikita Kucherov just came back from that big injury. He has already got one of the 3 stars of the month. He's scoring like crazy. That dude is a machine.
Yeah, he is a beast.
He's hockey machine. Number 1 bullshit. I come here, I score goal, I go home.
So let's just this Ngannou Cyril Gane fight, right? This fight right here.
Then I want to do the picks. Let's go.
I still think Ngannou's going to come out. He's going to come out like gangbusters. We talked about before we started recording. This is a contract fight for him. Mm-hmm. This is it. He loses this fight, his contract becomes, well, the UFC be like, we'll renew your contract, but look, you couldn't get it done in the big primetime fight. That's going to drive his price down. He's got a chip on his shoulder. I think he's going to knock Gane into next Morrow.
Hey, I want to see the fight. It's going to be interesting. I don't really care who wins, but I still think Gane's going to. But it's going to be a very interesting fight. But no matter what, you act like Ngannou's not going to be valuable if he loses to Cyril Gane.
His value does drop dramatically, though.
Not dramatically. I agree it probably drops. But dramatically, that's a bit silly. Especially with his body of work and how actually raw he still is.
Also true. Because, I mean, look at it. Boxers are wanting to fight him. Mike Tyson is fighting and is training Ngannou how to fight.
He's training Ngannou?
He's been showing him how to box. He's been showing him the punching.
I thought you were talking about Tyson Fury, who wants to fight Ngannou.
He does. But, I mean, Mike Tyson's been training Ngannou on, like, how to land and how to throw it correctly, how to come in there with a shoulder. Like, dude, I just don't see how Cyril Gane survives.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's get
what do you
into
think?
the.
What do you think?
Man, y'all know I don't know a whole lot about this.
That's why I asked you.
I feel very safe if I just default to the opposite of what you're saying.
Wow, this is fucking ridiculous.
I'm going through the percentages of what has happened.
Oh my God!
This is safe.
It's actually true though. Like,
yeah.
He's got a point.
If you said book it, I was going to be like, "Oh, Gane's got this." Somebody tweet him.
Wow,
it's official.
Well, at that point, if it's official, what I say, the people, I'll give you my phone number. Send me those Venmo. Like, seriously.
Yeah, I love it. Love it. Y'all go ahead and people already bet off of you.
Wow. There's no way.
I've made some bets this season and very much weighed in that you thought they were a lock. Not a book at moment necessarily, but a lock.
Yeah.
And I just went the other way because I wasn't sure. I feel like I'm ahead. It's not a lot. Yeah.
Why am I even here today? I don't even know. Between the pitch and shit, this.
Hey, fly Eagles fly, right? That's your thing?
Yeah, that's my thing.
All right, so let's go to this main card and do our picks. Let's see what's going on here.
So we did Ngannou gone. And
let's go from the bottom to the top.
Oh, really? You want to go to the bottom? Okay. Yeah. But we're not going to do like the pre-fights.
No, main card only.
Cody Stamann versus Said Nurmagomedov. Yeah, whatever.
Which is the same name.
I mean,
he said, yeah, whatever.
The same name as Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Great. I don't say Nurmagomedov. I just say Khabib.
Okay.
Right? I'm assuming the pedigree here speaks for itself. Give me Khabib's brother or cousin. Or
I don't know who he is compared to Khabib, but yes, this is looking like a wrestler versus a boxer. This is a fighter. But I'm going to go with this kid here with the 6-inch reach advantage, even though he's only 2 inches taller. He's got orangutan arms.
Give me anybody from Dagestan at this point.
That's what I'm saying. That they have a great stable of fighters. I'll take Saeed.
They wrestle bears as children. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What are we, like, seriously? They wrestle other animals.
Yeah. Up next,
Sergey Spivak versus Greg Hardy, a name you should know there,
I
big
know
guy.
Greg Hardy.
Let me go ahead and tell you. Greg Hardy was an ex-Carolina Panther and a guy who was accused of beating up his lady friend.
And throwing her on a couch full of guns.
But, fuck Greg Hardy. I'll go with Spivak. I don't give a shit where he's from. He could be the door greeter at fucking Sam's Club, and I'd go for him. Fuck Greg Hardy.
Hey, the one at ours is pretty swole.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen much of Greg Hardy. The fights that I have seen,
We saw him fight Tai Tuivasa. We saw how that went.
Night. I'll take Spivak, too.
Yeah.
I just don't think Greg Hardy's that good.
I think Greg Hardy is still getting fights like this because of his name. So
well, I mean, he's still developing. They want him to do something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't see it. Next is Michael Pereira versus Andre Fialho.
This is going to be a very interesting fight. I love this Andre Fialho guy. Fialho must be a stand-in or something because they got no stats on him on here. Nothing for a stance, nothing for anything else, but he's got a record of 14-4. Give me Michel Pereira because last time he was in the ring, he put on a clinic.
I'll take the kid that we know nothing about. Give me the mystery box.
He's got some stats here.
There you go.
He's got a
we know how tall he is.
Advantage.
Cool. I know that. I'm glad that he's an inch shorter and an inch more reach. Well, make your pick now, boy.
The faceless man.
He's plus 230.
Oh, they got his face up there.
It's plus 230 on the line too.
Yeah, I'll go with Pereira.
Yeah, that's the smart pick.
And honestly, in my opinion, the fight of the night is this Brandon Moreno, Davidson Figueiredo.
Yeah?
Yes, because their first fight was amazing.
And who won the first fight? Obviously Moreno.
Figueiredo did. And then
Moreno went and got the belt without him?
Yes, he did. And beat him in a style that no one was like, what the fuck? Like, put a submission guy in a submission.
Nice. Flyweight. This is going to be a boring fight.
No, you haven't seen the first two fights. You should watch these fights. These fights are really good. I'm going to take the Mexican boy.
Figueiredo?
I'm going to take Brandon Moreno. That guy just shows heart.
Sitting here looking at the flag.
He wanted it more. I'll take him all day.
Wow. I'm going to go with the underdog. I think it's going to be a rubber match. We got the draw, then he lost. I think he's going to come back and win. Give me Figueiredo. And then the big one. We know where everybody's going with this.
Francis Ngannou is going to win.
No, we're going with Cyril Gane.
What's the bet?
We are split down the middle.
What's the bet, you and me? What are we doing? We got a fitness challenge going on. What are we going to do? Let's do it fitness-based at this point. Let's make a fitness point-based.
I'm down with that.
So what is it?
Well, so, Mr. Fitness, I would like
look
for
at my
you
body of an Adonis.
To decide what the bet is. What do you want to do, 20 push-ups?
20. I don't think I could do 5.
So 20 push-ups it is.
What? How about 10?
No, you got to do 20.
Are you kidding me? In one time?
Yeah.
What?
20 whole push-ups. And if you get tired, you can do girl push-ups.
No video.
Oh, video for sure.
Are you kidding me?
How else are we supposed to have the people out there in Cigar City Sports Podcast land know that either I can do or you can't do 20 push-ups?
But they know I can't do. I'm telling you I can't do it.
Well, there's some content for you.
You might surprise yourself.
Yeah.
It's just 20 push-ups.
So I have never done 2 in a row in my life. You want me to do 10 times the amount? I remember doing 2 in a row
Yeah,
once.
we do.
Yeah.
All right, you're in.
All right, cool. We got a handshake going on here?
Right.
What is that shit?
So what do I get if I win, though? Oh, so it's 20 to 20?
It's either way.
Then you got to do 40.
Okay, that's fine.
Because, that's nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I will have to break it up 20-20, but I will do 40.
Yeah.
You could do it within the time period of the podcast.
If you get gas, you could just sit there and plank.
Yeah.
And then keep going once you're back. That's fine. That's normal.
That's a lot.
40,
okay, sure.
40's big.
Speaking of this fitness challenge, you want to go over this since no one knows what's going on?
You were gone last week before we started.
Yeah, we got this little fitness competition going. It's the 3 of us, Brian Crowningshield,
Rhino
Alberts. I almost said Rhino McDish. It just comes out naturally.
He's
still on my phone.
I thought that was his name.
He's still on my phone.
I think our buddy Glenn Marsh wanted to join too.
Glenn Marsh, all right. Glenn Marsh, I need your $10.
There's no cutoff to this. We just announced it now. We started early. So if you guys want to get in.
Yeah, it's 60 days. We announced it on the page. But
when we brought this up to Ryan, who is in as good a physical shape as all of us, he said, "That sounds like work, fam. I ain't doing that." He's not here to defend himself, but he definitely looked me dead in the face and said, "Nah, fam, that sounds like work. I ain't doing that shit."
He got to say no, and when I say no, you just like, no, I got news for you. You're doing this.
Yeah, because people want to see you be healthy.
We would like to see you be healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, we want Ryan to be as well, but we just know Ryan's not going to give in on that.
Ryan also has a very demanding job that he has to do a bunch of stuff.
Also
so it is
true.
what it is. Not that you don't.
But what are we going to give the winner to this? It can't be just money.
All the money.
I mean, it's that money. That's the
We
whole
could send him one of the
point.
Cigar City Sports Podcast shirts.
Let's do that.
We can do that in the money. Yeah, that's a good idea.
There you go.
Or maybe like a guest spot if they're local.
Hey,
they can come on.
You guys can come on if you want. Just let
that
us
shirt
know.
size. That shirt size better be a large.
Yeah.
Well,
that's why it's a
you
fitness
better
shirt.
have
That's why
lost
it's a
some weight.
fitness shirt.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. If it's an XL, we're dinging you $10 out
Big
of the
time.
prize.
100%.
Does that mean I got to stop eating carbs?
100% of the proceeds go to the show.
I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to win.
You really don't want to eat carb. You want just a small.
So you want
amount.
to take my Italian diet, throw it out the window, and fucking light it on fire?
I also got to say, Clay and I went to Chipotle for lunch today.
Yes.
And listen, you may hate yourself, but you can replace that rice with lettuce.
Oh, sounds great. Where's the rabbit food?
I got brown rice and just didn't eat all of it. And then he comes after me. He got there later than me, and he orders it. He goes, I do lettuce. And I was like, that's genius. That's healthy. I'm starving at the end of the day, but starving anyway. I've been starving. I've
ate
just
it
been hungry
and didn't feel bloated like a mother effer.
Yeah.
Well, all I'm just going to tell you is that I'm going to win this fitness challenge.
Okay.
And then everyone's going to watch you do 40 push-ups. So
Get
the world
after it.
can't wait.
It's listen,
the
40
bet you're talking
push-ups
about.
is a win-win for me. But but the fitness challenge, you think you're going to win? You're
Yeah.
going to get crushed.
What are you talking about?
You got to really try. I recommend start practicing them push-ups.
I recommend that too.
I mean, you'd be
I'm not-
surprised.
Listen, I'm going on a hunger strike. What is it, 60 days? I'm the Hamagami this
He's not
bitch.
gonna eat.
I will not eat for 60 days, and then you will lose. This fucking, like, you don't understand. If I start thinking that I got to win this thing, I will win this thing.
Yeah, you're going to hurt yourself.
It's okay.
And then you're going to balloon up.
Gandhi
after you're
became
done.
a national icon when he went on
I
a hunger
swear
strike.
Here's
God.
the thing that you do again. You bring one unique individual into the world of fucking billions of people, and you're like, look, that guy did it. You're like, oh yeah, Mike Tyson knocked out this guy. It's fucking Mike Tyson.
Are you telling me if you got in a fight with Peter McNeely, you couldn't knock him out?
I don't know who Peter McNeely is.
I'm Hurricane Peter McNeely.
Oh, I'd fuck that guy.
All I can say is if I peeked in your car and saw like an empty jug from South Beach Diet, you would never live that down.
I'm calling my buddy from Aquatine getting on that New Jersey parasite diet, and I will lose
We're
all
gonna get
that
a
weight.
call from Nello and it's gonna be like, "Hey man, what's
guys.
wrong? You don't sound good." Yeah, I'm getting kidney dialysis. I guess.
What happened, Nello? I got a tapeworm, hoping they would be able to let me pass it, but it wasn't a tapeworm. Things are not good. My family's coming. I love you guys. I'd love to be on the show. Tell everyone I'm going to survive. Book it. Be like, Nello, don't say that. Nello, don't tell him you're going to live and then book it.
God, see how rough this week has been?
As soon as Nello goes, I'm gonna live, man. Book it. We're just gonna hear in the background, Amazing Grace, how sweet. And then we just hear
Yeah, right.
people crying. Be like, guys, Nello's not gonna make the show.
yeah. So don't Mahatma Gandhi it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
It's,
Hey, you know,
Jay, portion,
Neil Armstrong went on the moon. Why can't I?
portion control and lay off the carbs and sugars.
No shit. The sugars is the big one.
Yeah, I
Mr.
know, man.
Italian.
Look at this
I will
fucking
say
shit.
this though: that Chipotle bowl is a good way to eat it, and not feel like you're totally miserable.
For sure.
Because when I feel pretty miserable most of the day right now. Till I get used to it, I do. But that's a nice little way to be like, all right, I can do this.
Well, you're also stopping the smoking as well, right? You told us that.
Oh, completely.
Oh
Gone.
my God. And I looked at him when I was going to take a break to make that call during the
It was
break. I
hard.
like, go take a smoke. And he
I
goes,
know.
all right. And then I walked out. I was like, maybe he's not smoking.
And I told
And I
him, I'm like,
forgot
damn,
you said
dude,
that.
power for you. You're not even smoking. When after you said that, I was like, damn, breaking. You're not smoking a ciggy. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's all right, man.
That's okay. He made a
Yeah,
pigeon
good
sound
for
and
you.
got up.
I did. That's what I did.
Oh God!
Israel's
All right,
company.
let's take break 2 for the day.
College
and
ball?
Then we're going to jump back into the draft situations we've been talking about. Who's leaving in college? Where they might be going? Let's take a look. We'll be right back. No, I don't. And we're back. Let's talk about a little bit of draft stuff going on here. A couple of people leaving, hitting the transfer portal, heading to other places. And somebody posted in the Facebook group today, which I really liked, Kirby Smart's quote about what he thinks about college football right now. He's not happy with the state of college football.
Sir, you called it semi-pro football, please.
That's right, semi-pro football. He goes, guys are leaving for the NFL because they want to spend more time with their families. These guys don't want to have to navigate these name, image, likeness right deals. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to have anything to and then now you're losing the bowl games, you're losing kids at the end of the year. People just don't want to be college football coaches right now, is what Kirby Smart was saying. I've seen a lot of men, a lot of leaders, a lot of great coaches say, I'm either going to go pro or I'm going to go find something else.
Well, he was talking about recruiting hours where it's just like you're never off, basically.
Yeah.
You're always looking for the new you got trying to get him first. You got to go to his house, and it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But do you have to do that anymore if these kids are just willy-nilly here today, gone tomorrow with no repercussions?
Right. What's the commitment?
Like at what point, so the universities are now, these NIL deals opened up the floodgates with the transfer portal. But if I'm a big-time university like Bama, Georgia, Penn State, Ohio State, Notre Dame, I spent hours, months, maybe privileges of recruiting you, and you come to me for 1 year. I spent all that time to get you, and that's all I get is 1 year?
I think the conversation has changed a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot different when that coach, especially if it's Saban or a head coach sitting down with that player and their family, I think they talk totally different than what they did before. I think Saban still lays out the process and the importance of maturing and graduation and all of that stuff, but then there's a big discussion of this is Alabama. So it's a path to the NFL if you earn it, and we're going to give you every tool available and that some that are only available to us, basically, and access. And also now, nil deal.
But exposures don't matter anymore.
I've got to give you the same thing that I give Nella, because as of right now, Bama's kind of a 101 when it comes to that in terms of our head coach sitting on someone's couch. But you're right. So Nick Saban's one thing. Let's talk about Napier, who just came into Florida. What's he going to do? He's not, listen, you're right. The conversation's totally changed. Is he talking about how much time you're playing, how much time you're seeing on the field as a Gator? Of course you're talking about amenities, you're talking about alumni, you're talking about people who have been through there and the college experience. But that's got to change the whole game. Because what if you sit down and dad's like, so what kind of deal are you going to get my son?
Yeah.
Well,
that's
Cam
asked.
Newton's dad did that when he went to Auburn, right? What are you giving me for my son? It's the same concept.
Yeah, it is.
But now you're allowed to talk about it when he comes to your house.
Right.
Because the boosters, as soon as he leaves, the booster comes in.
Yeah.
Do you get it? Because they can't go together, technically, right? Isn't that how the rule works?
I don't know about it anymore. Shit, with name, image, and likeness, it may have been completely changed.
But what about this? Remember I told you about wasting the time and the coach comes in your house and hours and hours and hours wasted?
Yeah.
What if we cap that the first 2 years you have to, if you're a high recruit and they spent an X amount of dollars and hours to get you, you need to do 2-year minimum at that school before you can transfer?
How about the NIL deal saying you got to be here for all 4 years if you want to get paid? Otherwise, I have restitution to get it back.
But you don't want them to stay there all 4 years.
Just saying.
I'm just saying, I'm just trying to cover university.
You're right, and I say 4 years because that's the standard. But any more really seriously talented college prospects are not staying for 4 years.
Because let's say I go to Tennessee, right, which is a trash program, and they actually had a decent.
They're on their way back, but
right? But they went back, and then all of a sudden the coach leaves, everything's gone. If I'm not a freshman, sophomore, I'd like to have the right to leave, which is where the transfer portal should be.
Yeah.
If you're a freshman, sophomore, you should stay at that first university. And then at your junior and senior year, where it actually matters, you can transfer for a year.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
That way, this university that invested in you doesn't completely lose.
We'll see. I mean, it is semi-pro football after all.
It seems so far away.
Like a rookie contract. You know what I'm saying?
It seems so far away to think that they're not going to be at that point soon, in my opinion. They can now get paid. They can transfer however they want to other schools and not sit out at all. What's left compared to playing in the NFL besides the fact that you're a student athlete? So they don't want to be like, well, you're going to sign a 3-year contract or whatever.
It's not a contract. It's just a 2-year commitment to the team.
No, it's a contract. If you force them to stay there, that is a contract.
Well, what shouldn't the coach be compensated for going to like 3 of your high school football games where you were literally the only person on the field?
Yeah, he gets a salary.
He gets
but I'm just saying
millions of dollars.
So he should never be off at that point. He should never have an off season. He should always be working. That's what Kirby Smart was talking about in that interview.
Well,
you're also saying what the players are getting paid by the boosters. You don't think the boosters are throwing something to the coaches?
Oh, I'm
well,
sure there's a lot of perks to being the coach.
I mean, right. It's the same thing. Otherwise, but it's just not frowned upon. Yeah. If the coach shows up with a brand new Camaro or a brand new lake house, nobody's gonna be like, "Hey, where'd you get that?" Because he's not a student athlete.
Tuscaloosa Ford ran a lot, and maybe it was somebody's name, but it was the big Ford dealership in Tuscaloosa. Always had the head coach doing commercials in local spots. What do you think Nick's making on that Aflac deal? You know what I mean? That airs at prime time.
On every game.
Yeah.
On every game. Not just Bama games. Every game.
What do you think he's making there? What's the other commercial? Oh, he's Diet Coke sponsors him. Coca-Cola. That's why there's always Dasani and Diet Coke or Coke up there. There's a reason it's always that. They sponsor him. Like, he's getting paid beyond that $9 million he made just from the university on that.
This is off topic. I'm sorry. I don't want to derail us, but it reminded me of something that you brought up not too long ago about Coke with Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh, yeah.
How much do you think their stock would drop if Saban took that Coke and just was like, drink water, kids?
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo lost.
They dropped so much money because he was like, "Don't drink this. It's not good for you."
He's like, he literally took it off, said, "Hold the bottle of water," said, "Drink water." And I think they lost 200 points that week.
200 points, and I don't even know what that equates to in millions. But imagine if Saban did that.
It better be that Dasani sitting
How much
up
do you
there.
think? How much do you think Coke pays him? Already.
I would love to
just
know.
to have that Coke sitting there, because if you've watched a press conference, he never touches it.
No.
It's just sitting there.
The only time he's ever touched it is he almost knocked it off.
Yeah.
And then he was using it as a prop.
Yeah.
He never has. When I was setting up his room when he was there the first season, it was all Coke, Diet Coke, Dasani, and Sprite. It had to be those.
By the way, I don't know if we've ever talked about this. Clay used to set up Nick Saban's room for him at the hotel when he first started with Alabama.
Yep.
First season, yeah.
Fucking insane.
He started brown nosing Saban real early.
He used to have to comb his hair,
Dude,
too.
I never said a word to him unless he spoke first. That was the rule. The other rule was do not get distracted away from him. If I didn't stare at him to be creepy, but if I was looking away, I was focused on him and my peripherals.
Yeah.
Like at breakfast, the day of, when he was ready for the buttered toast, he just did a little finger move, and I got his buttered toast. I knew how brown he liked it. It was a whole thing, man.
Nello just took that.
Hey,
that's his now.
He had
That's fine. It's over.
He had a box of oatmeal cream pies.
I love this part.
I had to have the oatmeal cream pies on the desk next to the sofa where he sat, and 2 packs of chew. And I had to have them there the night before the game because they stayed that night and had team meetings and dinner and all that. And then I had to have 2 more packs of chew and another box of Little Debbie's on it the next morning.
Which Little Debbie?
He didn't eat a whole box that night. I think he just packs them up and takes them home with him.
Yeah,
which
sure.
Little Debbie's is he a fan of?
It's the little
oatmeal cream pies.
Gonna have to go with the Swiss
seriously.
roll. Sorry, Nick. Yeah, drop the ball on the.
I actually don't like any of them. They're just way too much.
Bro, frozen Swiss roll in the freezer, and after a certain period of these,
That's a little too stout. I was because we got this weight thing going on. I was a zebra cake man, and then at Christmas time, the Christmas trees.
But did you put them in the freezer? Because those are good.
I'll tell you what,
I never even thought to do
fitness
that.
fitness challenge be damned. If those Christmas trees show up, I'm getting one.
They're so good.
I don't care if I've become a vegan and can't touch sugar.
Well, I just want to shout out Nick Saban, a very long-time listener to the show. If you want to tell us your experiences about Clay and the toast finger, we're here. We'll take your call anytime.
I'm sure he's waiting with bated breath.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, somebody call Cigar City Sports Podcast. Get him down there, all right? I want to be on the phone with him by next Tuesday, all right? Somebody get a Diet Coke and get it down there on the table, and I'm going to come down there. We're going to do what we do.
And tell Clay to bring my buttered toast.
I bring my buttered toast.
I'm gonna have I'd have some oatmeal cream pie.
I would have oatmeal cream pies myself. Be like, here you go. By the way, he signed a picture for us for our wedding.
Who?
For Megan and I, Nick Saban.
Shit.
Him and Terry.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's like
sweet.
that. So he could listen to the show.
Them.
We sent him an invite to the show, to the wedding, and he was like, he sent us back a signed picture.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
amazing.
that's that. What's the difference between ordinary and extraordinary?
Just that little extra.
That little bit of extra.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Back into the draft.
back in,
got off.
Sorry, guys.
Hey, it's
besides the love fest for Nick Saban,
I was
which
just
is
I was
wonderful,
just
let
happy
me
to
tell
see
you.
that Henry To'o is coming back
Oh
to
my
man
God,
the
yeah.
middle for Alabama.
So they
definitely happy with that.
they released this list on ESPN about
Yeah.
the top 50 games. We're not going to go through all of them. So I just want to say for Ryan, I know he's not here, but the number 20 game, was it 21, 20 or 22? Hold on, I'll check real quick. Number 21 game, Jacksonville State, Florida State
Yikes.
of the year. There you go, bud.
That was not a fun game.
No. So top 3 games. What do you guys think? We went over them.
I still believe that the Florida A&M game should be number 1.
The Florida and A&M game?
Cool.
Florida. No, Alabama, Texas A&M.
Jesus
sorry.
Christ. Are you okay?
Yeah, Alabama, Texas A&M should be 1. Florida and Alabama should be in the top 5. That's my 2 opinions.
So right now they've got A&M at Bama at 3. That 41-38 barn burner in Texas. They had Ohio State, Utah, the Rose Bowl at 2.
Which is the Rose Bowl. The implications are 0.
But that game was good. I would leave that game there or possibly even make it number 1. And the number 1 game of the year, according to this ESPN article, is Ole Miss at Arkansas. That 52-51 game where
Which was wild.
Razorback coach went for 2 and missed.
It was wild.
Really wanted to see him win that.
Like I could see this game being top 3, but I just don't know how you really, Ohio State, Utah it had me captivated the whole way.
Yeah.
Ohio
State, Utah, I was happy to see Ohio State losing. Then I saw Ohio State be Ohio State. I was like, yeah, okay. I don't really care.
National
Anyway, so
championship was
onto the guys that are leaving.
The guys that are leaving. So Evan Neal today, the big news is about the Jags saying chances are that will be their number 1 guy.
Who else is there?
It's a highly favored first pick. There's no official thing.
First of all, we got to get pro days. We got to have combines.
Right.
We got to have
But
interviews.
as far as the need to fill and a great feel for the need, you need that guy.
Listen, there's no wide receiver right now that's a number 1 overall worthiness. There's no Calvin Johnsons out there. You're looking at QBs. You got Trevor Lawrence. You look at running back. There's nobody there. Well, not that there's nobody there, but you just drafted Travis Etienne and you got James Robinson sitting behind him, or vice versa. Honestly, that's a great tandem. But then you look at the defense. That's where the Jaguars actually have some halfway decent players is on defense. But that's a huge need. And left tackle, when you can get one that's reliable like that, Evan Neal's the guy.
Yeah.
So on PFF right now, they just ranked the top. I'll just give you the top 5 players out of the draft according to them. It's Hutchinson out of Michigan, the Kevion Thibodeau out of Oregon, Kyle Hamilton, the safety out of Notre Dame, Derek Stingley Jr., the cornerback out of LSU, and then Evan Neal. By just going off this way too early draft guide or ranking, whatever you want to call it, Evan Neal to me is still the number 1 player out of all of them.
For sure. He's better than Thibodeau for sure.
You know?
Yeah, and the kid from LSU has not had that year to where I'm like, oh God, I know who that is. I mean, I'm not wowed for him. Evan Neal to me is the no-brainer pick. Even if the Bucs are picking their one, I'm saying go with Evan Neal. Just go with it.
What do you think there, big guy?
I mean, you got Evan Neal to the Jags just makes total perfect sense. It's the perfect storm for him. They gotta look out for Trevor Lawrence and give him a real chance to get going.
Yeah.
That I just don't see how anybody else picked ahead of him. Aiden Hutchinson, I think will. Why would they not?
I don't think he's going to perform the way they want him to in the pros. I don't think he's going to be that next T.J. Watt or that next Aaron Donald.
If he has a good combine, though, I could see him going 2 or 3.
Oh, I could see him getting drafted that high. I don't see him coming in and performing like Max Crosby or somebody who's come in and really kind of set the league on fire.
Honestly speaking, like Hutchinson and Thibodeau may be great like projects, but if you were to give me the number one pick and like you had to say this guy is going to make it and it's guaranteed, it's either him or the corner, and you're not wasting a number one pick on a corner. Evan Neal makes sense, like you said. Trevor Lawrence has got to be in Shad Khan's ear. Whoever Lawrence's people are, they're like, we need a house on the left side of the line that can protect me.
Yeah.
And how are you going to get it? Where are you going to get a bigger guy than that? 6'7", 380?
Yeah, you get anybody on that offensive side of the ball in Jacksonville and say, who do you want? They're going to point at Evan Neal, even the guy who's starting at left tackle right now.
I'm sorry, 350.
What'd you say?
I said 380.
Oh, that's a huge human. Either way.
But like, so taking a look at this whole list, is there anybody that stands out there? You're like, man, this kid should be drafted a lot higher. This guy should go lower. Obviously, we talked about the defensive ends. It was just way too early. We still got ball to play,
And we're already on the train. We were talking about this earlier of Pickett from Pittsburgh being wanted in Pittsburgh.
Let me just say this.
I just don't think that's the move.
CBS Sports is not all. Sometimes I like to read their stuff just because they're not very good at this.
Sure.
And this mock draft, but I said this, and so it's funny to read this from them because I'm like, oh, they said it. It's the opposite. It's like a Nello thing.
Jesus Christ today.
And you remember a while back I said, I think hands down Corral goes before Pickett.
No
They've
way.
got Corral going
stop.
6 to Carolina.
Yeah.
And Pickett going 9th to Denver.
I'm going to tell you this right now. If Matt Rule takes Corral at 6, he should be fired that day.
I don't disagree. I like Corral. He seems like a nice kid. I just don't see him being a pro quarterback. Like, even look at Kyler Murray, who was that guy. Like, oh, he breaks the mold. Look what he did. He went 7-0, then went 4-7, and lost in the first round of the playoffs. Just to quote Clay, he's not that guy.
Not that guy.
And
D-Hop played this game, correct?
I don't think so. Did he play? I stopped watching.
It was a bad game.
But I also was defeated all weekend after that fucking whooping and didn't watch any football. Except for, we'll get to that later. No,
Christian Kirk was the leading receiver, and I'm going to assume that, he was not in the game.
I just think like this whole defensive class has got a lot of talent, but nothing that's like, oh my God, stud.
No Khalil Mack.
Besides Evan Neal.
No Aaron Donalds.
Evan Neal to me is the for sure slam dunk, boom shakalaka. You know he's going to be there for 20 years anchoring the line.
Well,
you just know.
I mean, he'll be close. Somebody's audio's up.
This one's got your boy Malik Willis going to Washington.
Malik Willis, huh?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think this is going to be one of those drafts
where quarterbacks go that fast.
This one seems like a really boring draft as of right now. Just looking at everything that's out there, I'm just kind of like, this is not getting me hyped like the years when we had Gerald McCoy and Ndamukong Suh coming out. In
boring because of the name, but there's still some good talent out there. There's the corner out of Cincinnati. He's out there. Pickett is still a good. He's still a good quarterback prospect.
I still think your boy out of Cincinnati is going to get blown up.
There's a lot of big offensive tackles this draft.
There's going to be a lot of hype next year's draft.
Oh, big time.
Next year's draft is
with Will Anderson coming out.
Will Anderson, Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, just to name 3.
Bam. The Will Anderson one is going to be a highly contested draft pick to see who wants him because I think he is at the level like T.J. Watt's at. And the only reason I bring him up is because, goddamn, man, when he was in, games were won. In this game against Kansas City, he may not have won the game or decided it, but he still had a defensive touchdown. Yeah. I think he had 2 sacks. The guy's just a freaking animal. And I think Will Anderson is going to be on that same level.
I do too. I don't have much doubt at all.
Just to talk about a draft thing before I leave, the Eagles have the 15th, 16th, and 19th pick this year.
How many of those do they offload draft day?
They should offload 0. They should offload 0.
You want them to take all 3?
I want them to take all 3 or go back for next year. Wow. We don't need a quarterback. We're not one piece away, and that's proven.
Huh.
Jalen Hurts can still be there. We'll still be a mediocre team. We're not going to win.
What are your needs on draft day that you're looking at right
linebacker,
now? As an Eagles fan.
A linebacker.
Okay.
An edge rusher.
What about Dean out of Georgia? You think he's there when you guys pick?
I hope so. Like a prayer, but I doubt it.
What if they took 15 and 16?
What if they took Christian?
Package those for a trade and went up to get Dean.
See, that at that point, I just think more bodies at this point to make your team overall more talented is better. Because you have so many needs. You have so
you'd
many
rather
holes.
take I don't want to say subpar. That's unfair. Oh, manageable, good talent. Oh shit! Ooh, that came out of nowhere. You want to take manageable, good talent,
and really does.
Instead of getting one of the best guys in the draft, arguably the best guy in Narobi Dean. Am I saying his name right?
I don't know if it's Narobi. It's Nakobe, isn't it?
The kid from Georgia.
Yeah, it's Nakobe.
There you go, Nakobe.
I just don't want to give up draft capital. We have 15 and 16. We can get these 2 guys. There's no big name other than Evan Neal. That's like if Jacksonville wants to do that, I'll give up 15 and 16 for one. I'll do that right now.
You're not going to get that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You're not going to get that. That number 1 pick is not going anywhere.
I'm afraid these guys are going to make a move for a quarterback. And it's like
I could see them giving up number 1 if somebody wanted to package a great deal with Trevor Lawrence involved, but that's not going to happen. It's just not. So, okay, let's talk about playoffs. Let's talk about last week.
Other than NFL,
yeah, because we got to do our picks next. So we're going to talk about last week. Obviously, the Bucs demolished the Eagles. It wasn't even close. Like the Eagles didn't even show up.
We already talked about this.
I believe the song was "Bye Eagles, Bye" by the end of the game.
Wow.
Bye Eagles, bye. Back to Philadelphia.
Wow.
You can fuck off. Get on the plane and fly away. Isn't that how it goes?
This is terrible.
Anyway.
Again, more of this shit.
Las Vegas got
the fucking pigeon
got beat.
I had to hear that freaking thing for 4 quarters.
Got beat by Cincinnati.
For Joe Burrow's, that's a pigeon.
For Joe Burrow's first ever playoff victory, and the Bengals' first playoff victory in 30 years, or was it 40? It's been a long time.
31.
They shouldn't have left us.
31.
Without a dope beat.
It was 19 for the Raiders and 31 for the Bengals. And
the Bengals were the better team.
Controversy swirls this game. The whistle, was it before he launched the ball? After? Did it matter? He was literally just as open as Gronk in the end zone. No one was going to get there no matter what.
It doesn't matter. Like I said, you're absolutely right. I agree with you. Because everything on that play was already in motion and rocking and rolling before that whistle blew. If somebody was able to stop motion at the time that whistle blows, they are not human.
Yeah.
That was just way too much happening. Unless somebody was sitting there staring at the ref about to blow the whistle and goes, guys, he's about to blow the whistle, which they weren't. Even the coach for the Raiders came out and was like, dude, I didn't hear fucking whistle. They had a better play. They scored a touchdown. They won. Move on.
Doesn't this bring up the reoccurring theme that the NFL has had some putrid fucking NFL officiating this year?
They have had some questionable calls.
They took everybody from that game and said you are not coaching or you're not reffing for the rest of the playoffs.
You know why? Because they don't want that crew to come back and be a recurring story. Not that they feel like they fucked up, even though
they did. He wasn't not even close to being out of bounds. It was a terrible whistle.
Yeah.
And now it's controversial. It's taking over a story so the Raiders can say they lost because of that, which they didn't. You went down. You were in the red zone. You were in the 15-yard lines. Yeah. You had chances to score. You just couldn't get it done.
No, and that is not the reason the Vegas Raiders lost. They lost because Cincinnati was firing on all cylinders. Speaking of firing on all cylinders,
Oh my god!
the
By the way,
fucking-
Ryan got that game wrong. He took the Raiders.
Yeah, well,
Who'd you take?
Dude, that's a no-brainer bet right there.
So you took the Bengals?
I've been Team Burrow all year.
I don't know about Team Burrow all year, but
But
I
anyway,
was. Remember, I'm the one that was like, they may win all 5 of these next games. They didn't. I mean, they only won 3. But
who was the only one to take Buffalo that was here and present? That would be me.
I can't.
That would be me. And the Buffalo Bills handled business. They handled somebody else's business as well. I don't know.
Ryan picked the Pats.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
you
both
did.
picked
We
Pats.
both picked the Pats, and we were both freaking wrong. By the way,
Destroyed.
did you see that interception?
Destroyed. Yes, I did.
So disgusting. That was a touchdown. Beautiful ball by Mac Jones.
It looked just like the, and I'm really not trying to dig the knife in. It looked like the Mike Edwards. They both slid in at the last moment on a great throw and took the pick. I'm not trying to talk shit. That really is exactly how it went.
My gosh.
Am I wrong?
It's a way better play than that.
Is this a good time for the pigeon coup?
I swear to the good Lord in the freaking sky.
Don't do it.
God damn it. God damn it. Speaking of Buffalo, our good friend Buffalo, get well soon, man. I hope you
Please,
kick whatever's
John,
going on.
get
ass.
well, buddy. We love you. Hope you get
Yeah, I
better
went
soon.
against every time I go against the Bills, they end up screwing me. And you know what?
But
Maybe
you got one right that everybody else got wrong.
yeah, I did. But I just want to say, maybe McDermott was right. Maybe Belichick is being overrated as the greatest coach to ever.
Whoops.
Oh, of course he
mean,
picked against the Cowgirls, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
That's what you're talking about.
But I called this before that.
He did. He did.
I said before this happened, I'm like, screw the Cowboy shit. The Niners are a scary team in the playoffs.
And not only that, you did say that they were firing on all cylinders going into that game, and that was 1,000% true.
Yep, they sure were.
49ers, man. How about
Never
Fred
would've picked
Turner?
them.
What happened to Fred Turner? Is he okay?
Fred Warner. Fred Warner's okay.
What happened to Ted Turner?
He's on a yacht somewhere hiding
Yeah.
from the
How is he
Epstein
not
trial.
dead yet?
I don't know. He's probably maybe
100?
He's still living off that Hulk Hogan money.
But no, seriously, like this Niner game, they came in and punched the Cowboys in the face.
Mm-hmm.
When Mark Sanchez has more wins than your team does in the last 25 years in the playoffs, and that guy fumbled by running into someone's butt,
Yeah.
you have a problem.
Yeah.
You don't run a draw with 10 seconds
The
left.
famed Eagles quarterback Mark Sanchez.
Yes, the butt fumbler extraordinaire.
Yeah.
Like seriously.
Wasn't that against Dallas?
Butt fumble.
No, I think it was with the Jets, right? When he ran into
He was with the Jets, but
Yeah.
wasn't they playing Dallas?
I don't know.
Anyway.
He led our team to a win, I think. I think he won one game with an Eagles quarterback. Either way, I just don't understand what's going on in Dallas. What happened? Like, what happened?
I that's the thing. I don't know. And the only common denominator of all these teams is Jerry Jones.
Right there with
And
you.
I don't know what Jerry could be doing to fuck it up for everybody. But he's the common denominator. When you look at what's wrong, it's Jerry. I mean, he's the one who's got everything going on like that.
I don't think this is Jerry's fault. I really think this is Mike McCarthy. You do not run a draw there. You cannot run a draw. You don't have enough points. You don't. Not points. You don't. You don't have enough points. You don't have enough time and no timeouts.
Well, speaking of the last 25 years, Mike McCarthy has more Super Bowl wins than Jerry Jones does, so I think I'll trust Mike McCarthy on that one, especially because he took that team and did some special things with them this year, getting them into the playoffs, keeping them relevant over the last couple years with Jason Garrett, which has been an absolute shit show.
Ask New York about that this year.
Yeah.
The highlight of Jason Garrett's is that bad lip sync video. They do. They got a good voice for him. That's about all he
A
can
lot of
really
people
do.
are talking about replacing McCarthy with Quinn and more. Just like getting McCarthy out and giving the team to both of those coordinators.
Well, Jerry Jones' son has already come out and said that's not happening. And isn't Kellen Moore their offensive coordinator? He's garnering offensive or head coach jobs elsewhere.
Yeah,
Big
rightfully
time.
so. Speaking of which,
he's legit.
the two coaching staffs from the Senior Bowl is the Lions and the Jags, right?
Dan Campbell.
Yeah,
And who's the Jags head coach right now? Nobody.
nobody. Or it's somebody else. It's another bottom.
I think it's
feeder. If
gonna
not
be
the Jags.
Byron
It's another
Leftwich.
bottom feeder.
I think it's going to be Byron.
He's going to Jacksonville.
I mean, the fact that he was there, he was a first-round pick for them. He was a big deal. He's been super, super hot. I think Tom Brady affects that decision too, honestly.
You think Leftwich would not go to Minnesota with that team that's already built, all he needs to do is get rid of Kirk Cousins and
No.
find a guy
I'm
who
not
can throw the
saying
ball?
that. I'm not saying that. I don't know who's going to go to Minnesota, but whoever's going to Minnesota, I think actually Kellen Moore would be a good pick to go to Minnesota. That would be a scary Minnesota team.
I agree.
But
Yeah,
anyway, so
so
on
the
to
only-
that, then Pittsburgh getting
There's nothing to say here.
obliterated on that one.
There's nothing-
Nobody picked Pittsburgh.
No.
I mean, Ben didn't even pick Pittsburgh.
No.
He said, let's just go have fun.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
like
guys,
Tom-
let's have a great time.
Yeah.
I like-
Let's all have fun out there.
I like Tomlin before the game saying, don't blink, and if you do blink, cut your eyelids off because you're going to miss something special. And I was like, I was waiting for the special.
Yeah, we all were. And it was the more of you guys trying to feed Najee Harris because you know he won't give up the rock.
But what else were they going to do? Like, offensively, they couldn't do. A lot of bad drops by the Pittsburgh receivers. That Pittsburgh defense should get credit. They stopped them for about 2 quarters.
They did. And that's the thing. And that's like talking about a lot of defenses. When your offense is struggling, it doesn't matter how good your defense is. It doesn't matter if you've got world champion defense.
If they're playing 30 minutes a game.
If your offense is not able to stay on the field, that defense is going to crumble. And the same thing happened to Pittsburgh because they had splash plays. Shit, the defense scored the only touchdown for them.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, they didn't. I apologize.
Well, the only
I said-
touchdown
I was
that
looking at the wrong
mattered.
score.
The
Yeah.
only touchdown that mattered.
They kept
'cause
them relevant.
They had the lead then. You know, and that defense was flying. But if they have to be on the field for so long, the other team's going to make adjustments to pick up your tendencies.
For sure.
This makes for an interesting thought process on is it going to be the Chiefs or the Bills?
Yeah. I depends on who's got that home field advantage because either one of those venues
it's in Kansas
are going
City.
to be rocking.
It's in Kansas City.
So Buffalo's going to have to show up and show out. If they can silence that crowd early, they had a shot.
Is that crowd ever silenced though?
It depends
It's
on how many
Arrowhead.
points go up.
It's Arrowhead.
But L.A. Rams putting an end to Kyler Murray's season.
I took the only idiot that took the Cards, but you couldn't tell me the Cards were going to lay a duck like that.
I could actually when I picked the Rams and told you they were going to.
But that bad?
I didn't think it was going to be that bad, but the Rams were the clear favorite.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I thought D-Hop be back. Well, you get Rondell, they get James Conner. They're all going to be back. J.J. Watt should have been back.
Sure.
You know, I'm like, okay, this was the same team that won 7 games in a row, 10 games in a row without losing.
Yeah.
And it just showed that Cliff Kingsbury, I don't know.
Yeah, is he going to be on the hot seat? I don't think so. Not
Well, does
the
he
way
go
this
back
year
to
went.
college? There's a lot of teams that would give him a job there, right?
Not more than Arizona's going to give him.
Is he ready for the game? A lot of people thought that they weren't prepped. They really made no halftime adjustments.
Yeah.
They kept running the same plays over and over and over again, hoping they would win. They would work.
Sure. All right, let's take our last break. Then we're going to get into the divisional round of the playoffs for the NFL, get our picks, and then we're going to see where it goes from here. So, from us to you.
Okay.
No, Nello did not stop talking the entire time we're on a break.
That goddamn pigeon sound. All
And
right
we're
with the
back.
fucking pigeon thing.
Oh my goodness. Divisional round NFL football. Ryan was so gracious as to send us his picks. We will add them in as we go. Let's start off with the Saturday matchup that is, I don't know, probably the most boring of all the games, but still a damn good game, which is saying something. Cincinnati.
How's this
At
going to be the most
Tennessee.
boring game of the day?
Because
Cincinnati beat them.
Green Bay is going to be good. LA
Cincinnati
and Tampa's
beat
going to be
Tennessee.
good. Buffalo and Kansas City's going to be good.
Do you know how excited I am about this game overall?
Oh, very.
King Henry's coming back.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge addition.
Both teams are going to be 100%.
Yeah.
Will that defense be able to stop that fucking running back?
Will that offense get a chance to be on the field? Will Jamar Chase and Joe Mixon and company come in and make a splash? Because I personally am predicting a hangover from the bye week. I'm going with Cincinnati.
What?
I am keeping that team hot. They lost to the fucking Jets at home. So home field advantage to me doesn't add too much for me to be like, oh my God. And Cincinnati just won in convincing fashion. I don't see
This is crazy.
Tennessee
This is nuts.
coming out and dominating this game.
What do you got?
I mean, I was on the fence, but leaning towards calling the Bengals is dumb. Like it's a shot, not dumb, but I'm on the fence. And you said it very convincingly just that you're very sure about this pick.
I am very sure about this pick. I love Ryan. He's my buddy. He's one of my best friends. He's here 3 times a week. We hang out very often. I love you. I love Derrick Henry. I love Julio Jones. Julio Jones got his first touchdown in the last game of the year. You guys are not – you don't have Mo on your team right now. Cincinnati has fucking Mo,
Cincinnati's
baby.
definitely got that.
And if they can come in and control that clock and convert on 3rd down and keep the Cadillac on the sidelines, there's a really good chance they could win.
Here's the problem. Cincinnati's offense is all about getting it. Burrow, they don't control the clock. They throw too much.
Just saying.
So the team that's going to control the clock would be the Titans, who are going to run the ball. The question then becomes, when Cincinnati gets it, can Tennessee just stop them one drive?
It's not a foregone conclusion to me that the Bengals are going to win. For sure. That would be a silly thing to think. But to think that Cincinnati is just out of it when they've beaten the Chiefs, they've beaten really good teams in really tough situations.
And they beat Tennessee.
And they played a game last week against a really surging Las Vegas Raiders and put them to bed. I think the Bengals are not to be slept on.
I don't know about bed.
What was the score?
It was by 7.
What was the score?
Because Derek Carr went down to almost tied the game, but he just couldn't get it done at the end.
All right, yeah. All right.
I'll take Tennessee.
It's
man.
a tough game.
Tennessee.
It's a tough game. I could see it going either way. My pick is Cincinnati.
Tennessee, just because they're at home, and Derrick Henry's going to be fresh.
Sure.
And they got Deonta if they can't get it done.
I like
What
how 3
in
weeks ago
God's
you were
name?
like, I don't know what's going to happen with Derrick Henry when he comes back. I mean, he hasn't been playing.
I've seen something.
Okay.
You know what I hate is, man, he just named off what I'm sitting here thinking. Derrick Henry's back. He's got to be good to go.
That offense is firing on all cylinders.
They're
Julio's
at
back.
home. I ain't gonna say that. We're not gonna say that.
Okay.
But
I threw a wrench in his chain on the
you
pick.
really did. I'm gonna take Tennessee.
Ryan obviously said tighten up. I'm the only one of the
Yeah.
Bengals. I expected that.
I just don't understand how we. I get the Bengals are high powered, but if they can't score and that defense just holds to bend, don't break,
Yeah.
and Tennessee actually pounds the rock and holds the ball,
Yeah.
it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough for Burrow to consistently chuck the ball on a good defense like that.
I don't disagree.
Next game
Oh boy,
in the Lambeau Field, though.
This
Niners
is a-
Packers.
I'm
so-
going Packers.
So here's the difference, right? I talked about the hangover from the week off. This is fucking Aaron Rodgers. There
Yeah.
ain't no hangover. This guy came off of I might not play football for you to an MVP caliber season in 0-degree weather. I'm sorry, them boys coming from California are going to be okay, but I got Green Bay.
Minus 8-degree weather is what I read. What are we? Sorry, West Coast boys. Packers.
Ryan is on the pack as well.
There's just too many. There's too many injuries. Is Fred Warner going to be 100%?
Yeah.
Is Joey Bosa going to be able to clear concussion protocol? Like, you even saw them. Once those boys left, the Cowboys started moving the ball. If those boys are back, they might make it close, because that first game they played was really close.
Yeah, they're going to have to be. They're going to have to rattle Aaron Rodgers, which is hard to do.
But I just don't think it happens. Next game.
Oof.
Oof.
This is the matchup I did not want to see. I wanted Kyler Murray in the worst way because this Rams team has owned us for 2 years in a row. Last year, we skated by because Green Bay beat the brakes off of them going into the playoffs, so we didn't have to worry about it. This year, this is tough. I wish I could say that we're at home, we've got home field advantage, but the only thing we've got going for us is the GOAT. In all his experience and all the things that he does, hopefully he's the one that gets us over the hump. I begrudgingly am picking my Bucs in a game that I don't know if we can win. I'm taking my Tampa Bay Buccaneers because they're my team. I love them. Want to see us get back to that conference championship. Want to see us get back to the Super Bowl. But there's a good chance LA could end our season this Saturday.
What do you got there?
Sunday, rather.
Pigeon Master.
I mean, I'm going with the Bucs.
Like, give me why. Don't just tell me I'm going to the Bucs.
Because it's a much different defense than before, and that makes me feel a lot better about it. And it's Tom Brady in the playoffs.
Where'd Ryan go? Who did he take this game?
Oh, Ryan took the Rams all day.
Naturally, that's the smart pick.
Rams are going to win this game. Like, I'm sorry. Your offensive line is beat up.
We'll see.
Ryan Jensen is going to have to stop Aaron Donald.
Sure.
If you're not 100%, you can't stop Aaron Donald.
Ryan Jensen and all-pro Ali Marpet are going to have to stop Aaron Donald.
Right. If one of them is even 50%, that gives Donald an advantage.
An advantage over two men that are both all-pros?
If one's hurt, and they already have a tough time stopping him when they're doing it together.
Sure.
Not to mention Tristan Wirfs. If the Rams are going to get more pressure with Von Miller than the Eagles did.
Oh, I can tell you this. If Tristan Wirfs can't put enough weight on that ankle, we're in big trouble.
Big trouble.
For sure.
I mean, Wells actually did an admirable job on Sunday.
You see what they did to Murray? And Murray's a guy who gets out of the pocket. And they still chased his ass down and got him.
What
are they going to do to Statue Burr?
It's also somebody that they play 2 times a year, have lots of tape on, lots of game experience on. I'm not just talking about Kyler. I'm talking about that offensive line.
The Rams look like they turned it on.
They did. They're scary as shit. I think they could win this game, but if you want to count the Bucs out, go right ahead. I know you and Ryan are both on the Rams.
Yeah, absolutely. 120%. Jalen Ramsey, Von Miller, those guys are now playing together. They got Eric Waddle back, for fuck's sakes.
Eric Weddle, who's been out of the league for 2 years.
Yeah, he was a stud safety too.
He was, for sure. You want to get back Bart Starr to play as well?
At this point, if we had Bart Starr on the field in Sunday, we might have done a better job.
You want to give Ron Jaworski a call there, Nello?
Would he be better than Jalen Hurts?
Honestly, though, I would still take Brian Dawkins on any secondary.
Right now.
Ooh, yeah.
Brian is a nasty man. All right, back to what I think is going to be the best game outside of the Bucs Rams when the Bucs dominate. Ropey.
Bills versus Chiefs in Kansas City. Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes.
Oh man,
this is a rough game. A rematch too.
Mm-hmm.
This is that game that's going to decide, in my opinion, who goes to the Super Bowl. Because if Kansas City or if Cincinnati gets past Tennessee, I don't know if either one of them can get past KC or Buffalo. That's a rough.
Yeah, winner of this game is going.
I don't disagree.
I'm already settled on that.
God, I don't want to make this pick because this is 2 really, really tough teams, but I'm going to go with Buffalo and Josh Allen.
I'm doing Bills as well.
I think they are on the grudge match. They want to come back in and dominate. They want to do what they do. Let's see it. Although Mr. Ryan is on the Chiefs.
Yeah, but he likes the Chiefs a lot.
He does.
So I'm not too concerned.
So
Nello's not sure what he wants to do.
I think that Buffalo defense makes the difference.
I agree.
I think they're able to get Mahomes off the field early, and Josh Allen's legs make a big difference in this game.
The Kansas City Chiefs are not only going to beat Buffalo, they're going to destroy Buffalo.
Wow.
Buffalo are pretenders. New England is not as good as we thought they were. I understand Mac Jones has played some great games. That defense for New England came up short. Once you stop the run in New England, it's over.
Sure.
I think Buffalo needs to this will be one of the toughest games they played, and I think
this will be the toughest
Arrowhead
game.
Now, the way the Chiefs are playing now, unstoppable.
6:30 on Sunday.
Unstoppable.
Tough game, tough ass.
Chiefs win, book it.
Wow, that's a really tough one to book.
Of course it is.
That one's a really tough book it there, Nello.
Book it. Sorry. It's a big, tough. Hell yeah, it is.
We got the Toon Squad going up against the Monstars. If the Toons lose, they got to go to Moron Mountain. Well, book it. Book it for the Looney Tunes.
I'm telling you, this is actually a lot harder than you think. Bills are firing on all cylinders, and that defense is playing great.
You're right. It is hard to vomit out bookets at big games like that and have a terrible record. It must be really hard to have the pressure of always being fucking wrong.
I'm not always wrong.
You didn't want to book the Eagles, did you?
And then I did.
So I feel like that's a good nod towards Buffalo. Listen, if Josh Allen is not a person who exists for the Bills, there's no way I pick him. No way. But Josh Allen, I think, is a special talent, and I think they're going to get something done against KC. I could be wrong.
If he chokes, it's over.
Yeah.
He's got to play.
He's got to play. He's got to play well. He's got to play fast.
And Andy Reid, we trust.
Wow.
There you go. Hey, the man just, he wins games, he goes home, he just wants to eat a cheeseburger.
He said, what did he say about going back to the Super Bowl?
He said,
well, if you get a big piece of chocolate cake and there's another one sitting there dangling right in your face, you're going to want it.
It's what he said. I was just going to say that.
I was like, Andy, why is it always food?
I love Andy. I love him.
He said, you're going to get a cheeseburger after you win. What if you win the Super Bowl? I guess I'll make it a double. What? Andy, can we make it a paleo diet or something? Hey, Andy, do you want to get some vegetarian nachos?
God damn it! Fuck the pigeon!
Easy on my mic there, boy.
Forza Inter.
See you next week, Rotate.